Christmas time came too soon. The bells ring loud and I'm hitting snooze.
Hello, welcome to day 17 of December Daily. I am once more using a prompt from Bree. Today's prompt is currently. And I knew there were two elements I wanted to use for this spread. And one was this reindeer from a Christmas present that I got from a colleague, which was really, really sweet. This is from the wrapping paper from this very cute cup and teapot that go into each other that I got. It was very, very sweet. I just wanted to show that here briefly. I think it's so, so cute. And the other piece I wanted to use, I will show in a little bit. So I thought I would use my square die cut to cut out this cute little reindeer. And my goal was also to make it a simple spread for once that wouldn't take me so long because I was in a bit of a time crunch. So at this point I knew that I wanted to use this somehow, and the other element, which was a card that I got, you'll see that in a moment. But I didn't know how I was going to place these elements onto my spread. So I'm just starting off by, of course, inking the edges of everything. And then I'm just going to glue one on top of the other. And so now you see the second element was this funny card I got from my brother and his fiancée, and he just photoshopped the faces of himself and his fiancée and their three, or not their three, but his three boys. The funny thing is they're not religious at all, so really, really interesting to get this card from them, which I thought was really cute. And so I'm just playing around with the elements, seeing what I can do, and I thought I would use this tissue paper as a background somehow. And then I thought, okay, maybe I would make a little flip out of this card that I got, and I'm just trying that out. Wasn't really happy with that, so I changed my mind and instead decided to make a tag out of it by just trimming it down a little bit and cutting it into the shape of a tag by just cutting one corner and then flipping it around to the other side to make the corners equal. And then I'm going to take out a punch I'm actually using for the first time. This is an AliExpress tag punch, but as you can see, it's not round. It's this slit form, and it's awesome. I think for a tag this size, it makes sense to use a bigger kind of punch, which would also make it really easy to put a ribbon through it. And so I'm just going through my Sari Silk ribbons to see which one I like best. And they all actually fit from the colors, so I had kind of a hard time choosing which one I wanted, especially out of these three. Then I decided to go with this green golden one. So I really like this bow on top, and I am inking the edges because when in doubt, when I don't know what the next step is, I just ink. It's just a way of stalling. And then I make mistake number 1, which was gluing this. Well, first I tried this background behind, but I didn't like it. It was too much happening on that one page, so I just decided to glue it onto the background. And mistake 1 was to use this liquid glue, because on the other side of the page it made it a bit wavy, but I will deal with that on my next spread. There was not much I could do once it was glued down. And it's so funny, a lot of times when I see the video later, I realize that things are crooked and I didn't see it when I was close up, but it's okay. So then I'm going to make mistake number 2, and please learn from my mistake. So I am putting this down with some matte medium, which you'll see here in a moment. And I am thinning that out with some water because it was just too hard. And I put that onto the page, and because it was so liquid and because I had already glued something on the back side, it made the page really wavy. And I thought I could still deal with it with the this paper on top, but then realized I could never get the wrinkles out or the waves underneath. So I end up tearing it off again, and then I had to deal with the wrinkles. So I just decided to cover that whole thing up with another piece of cardstock. Thankfully, there's, as I've said in other videos, there's not much you cannot save on your page, so there's always a way to fix your mistakes, thankfully. Of course, the downside is adding even more bulk, and I will show you at some point in another video how bulky this journal actually has become already. It's crazy. So I didn't want to take any more chance and use any more liquid glue on that side, so I decided to use my double-sided tape instead. Okay, that worked out really nice. You can't see the wrinkles, and now I'm trying to place this little reindeer, and I decide to make a pocket out of it so that I could put yet another tag in, which would have the theme for today, the prompt current on it. So I just glue the 3 sides so that top side would stay open for me to slide a little tag in. So I take that strip that I had just cut off that cardstock, and just cutting it down to the right height to make a little tag. And now I'm just going to round the corners, ink that up, and use the same slit hole punch for the top, and add another ribbon. This time I choose the dark green, which adds a ton of more bulk to the journal. But this time I just thread it through because another bow would have just been too much. But just to add some more bulk, I then decide to add a charm to it. This is a little postcard which says "I love you," that I got at a local craft fair. But you can definitely get all kinds of cute little charms from AliExpress. So I thread that little bulb pin through my ribbon. And next I decide to stamp that prompt right on the bottom of that tag with my Recollections clickable stamp set. I don't know what I would do without these stamps. They are my favorite stamps of all time, I think. So here I'm just marking where exactly they need to go using my vintage photo distress oxide that I'm using for everything at the moment. I've really come away gone away from using the black. I really like the brown. It's a little more subtle, not so in your face. And then I choose this image of a wintry, snowy house just to accentuate the theme of family and home. And then I wanted to, of course, add the number for day 17 on there. So I have this other little die cut, which is really cute, which is perfect for using as my background for the number 17. And then I'm going to just journal off camera on the back of that tag about the day we had together the previous day with my family and my other brother, and we just went to the cemetery to visit my dad's grave and then had a nice family lunch all together. It was a really nice outing. And that is the spread. So try to keep it simple. Didn't really succeed. It was not as simple as I had hoped, but I'm going to give it another try on my next spread. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.